Hi guys, welcome back to the Hardy Household channel, and in today's episode we're going to be looking at the myths of being in a long distance relationship. And basically we're going to tell you that a lot of them are probably rubbish. So here we go. So basically a little history on us. We started our relationship long distance.
Yeah.
So I think we're quite qualified to speak on this.
Yeah.
And hopefully our experience can help you in dealing with some of these questions that you've got. So here we go.
So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and if you're new to our channel, thank you for watching us.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by.
Yes. And don't forget to comment down below and let us know your opinion, what you think. Okay, dive right in.
I'm going to dive right in. Okay, number one, long distance relationships never work out in the long run.
In the long run.
In the long run.
That's a myth.
That's a myth. Define long run. In the long run is me and you, obviously we're speaking from this perspective, but me and you have got married. That's pretty much the long run. The long run is your end goal, isn't it? So suppose your end goal has to be, what's your end goal?
Yeah, everyone should have what. Yeah, but anyway, that's a myth. That's a myth, because again, it all boils down to the person that you're actually in a relationship with, right? Yeah. And their personality. And so if you're in a relationship with someone who is a bully, who's not interested in you, whatever they are, that is what is gonna reflect. And so it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out because of the person, not because
their distance.
Because of the long distance.
Yeah.
That there could be, obviously, probably doesn't work out because sometimes the time differences or whatever the issues is. But I think that you could make things work if the person is worth it.
If both people want it to work, it will work. Number two, long distance relationships require more work. Yeah, I'd say there's truth in that.
Yeah, I would say there's truth in that, at least for us, because I mean, I lived in London, Ian lived in Scotland, and so he had to travel, so there's expenses and things like that. Let's just say if we were all in the same city, we probably won't spend that much just traveling and all that. So it takes more work, but again, I think every relationship requires more work. But yeah, with long distance relationship, you kind of have to make it work, right? So you have to organize your thing, but everything will be online, and so that's the extra. If you have to stay awake and wait for your partner to call you, that's that extra work that you have to put in. So you have to want it to make it work.
I agree. You work with the tools that you were given, don't you? You can only work with the tools that you were given. And if the only opportunities that me and you, for instance, had to meet were to make arrangements to meet each other, so we had to make those arrangements to meet. So yeah, it required effort and work, but it was worth it. So it's all to do with the worth of the person that you are pursuing or you want the relationship with. Do you know what I mean? Like, you were worth it, so I put the extra effort in. It obviously it's harder because you were further away. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, but then you put the work in, so it requires more work, perhaps. So yeah, that's in our opinion. Yeah. So
there's some truth in that, but it's because it's worth it in the end. Long distance relationships aren't real relationship. It's not worth it. So that's quite funny because that ties into what we just spoke about now. It is worth it, and there is a real relationship.
It is. It depends if you're in for a joke. That's a personal thing.
I don't know how this amazing this can't be real.
Long distance relationship. I think maybe the question is, it's like, when you're dating, that's just for fun. If it's long distance relationship, it's not real. But my point is real, right? So it depends. Again, it depends on who you are with in a relationship. Okay, so if you both place values in each other, and you know where you're heading towards, you have a goal, then it is worth it and it is real. But if both of you are just in for fun as well, that's you. So again, I believe that long distance relationship, based on both of you or whoever is involved, and then your goals and your plans, and so that's what would determine whether it's real or not.
And it's all dependent on how much time you invest in that relationship. How can you say something isn't real when you've invested a lot of time into it? It's very real, whether or not the person is beside you or 500 miles away.
It's not worth it.
You're still investing your time.
The continuing one says it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But again, it's up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's a personal thing. Is it worth it? That's you.
Okay, number 4, the distance complicates things too much. That's a good question, but it's a myth. I think every relationship has complications.
Yeah.
And every relationship has its own complications.
Yeah.
A long distance relationship, the complication is the distance, but it doesn't complicate things too much. That is one of the complications of that relationship.
The distance, yeah.
That just is a complication, but it's not too much, because we are testament that is, and there are many people in the world that would say the same.
That have been successful.
Yeah, I think it wasn't a complication for us, because we always knew that this was our end goal, was to be together in the same place.
Yeah.
So it started here, but it ended here.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to know your end goal before it becomes a complication, because if it stays long distance, then it's always going to be, you're never going to have that intimacy.
Yeah.
So I suppose it depends on that outcome, but yeah, that's a myth.
Staying faithful is hard. That's a myth. That's a myth.
That's a myth. That's down to the actual person. That's a myth. If you are using distance as an excuse to cheat, you're just the type of person that's going to cheat anyway.
Yeah, but you have people that says, "Oh, I can't be by myself. I need someone. I need someone." So maybe you are those people that says long distance relationship is not for me.
Yeah.
Because I know people that says, "Not one long distance relationship is not for me." But if you're here watching this, that means at least you don't really you're not really sure. So we're here just to share our experiences with you, to let you know sort of like the options that you do have, because you do have options and you can make it work wonderfully. So yeah, but
staying faithful isn't hard.
No,
because when we were dating, we both decided to only focus on each other rather than include other people in the process. So I don't want to go too much into that detail, because that's for another video, but we focused on each other, which meant we gave each other 100% of our input. So our investment, why, so why would you cheat? Because you're investing in someone, in one person.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not because of long distance relationship that somebody is. Was it long distance relationship is hard?
Yeah.
Staying faithful is hard.
Staying faithful is hard.
So some people, it's hard for them to stay faithful, whether long distance relationship or not. And so it's not because it's long distance relationship, that's why it's hard. Even if you were close, it will still be hard, because that is their personality. They just can't stay faithful.
Just don't put yourself in situations where you're going to be unfaithful. You can't cheat on someone if you're not around people that you're going to cheat with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you care enough about the person that's long distance, you will make that effort.
Yeah. So that's a myth.
Yeah. Number 6 right now.
You need to talk every day to keep the spark alive. That's a myth. You don't need to talk every day to keep the spark alive. Because like I said, there are probably levels of long distance relationship. Some people, there's not that opportunity for them to talk every day, but it gives you that chance to meet your partner, right? And so when they finally get to talk to you, finally get to talk to them, it's just wonderful, and you cherish that moment. And I think it's very important for you to appreciate that. So yeah, just talking every day, the value of it, just talking every day doesn't mean there's going to be spark. But the quality of it, the quality of the talking, that's what brings the spark.
Yeah.
So like me and Ian, when we were dating, we did speak every day, because we went same time zone and we could speak every day.
We had the opportunity to.
Yeah. But again, we didn't speak every day for that long, because sometimes Ian had to wake up very early, or I had just come home and I needed to sleep. And so sometimes for short while, but we did speak because we had that opportunity to speak. But again, if you're in a relationship with someone that you can't speak to the person every day because of the time zone, maybe like 5 hours or 10 hours, and you're basically just leaving yourself voice messages or whatever, I guess you have to make it work for your situation.
So yeah, that's a myth. Number 7, you can't depend on your partner. That's a myth. Depending on, in terms of what? In terms of emotional support, that's there. It depends if the person is like in the army and they're not there for, like, you can't contact them when you need to contact them. That's different. It's not their fault. So, and you should also know that maybe they want to contact you, but they're not able to either. But that doesn't mean that they can't depend on you.
You can't depend on them.
It just means that you're not able to speak to them at that moment. I don't know, dependence is a strong word. So I would say no.
If someone is not dependable, whether long distance or not, it's not going to change
They're
anything,
always going to be.
Right? And so if somebody is reliable and faithful, even if like you can't actually talk to them directly, or at the time that when you need to talk to them, you leave them a message, they'll get back to you, right? They'll get back to you immediately, and they will show support and they will show love. And so long distance relationship is not the thing that is not going to make the person not dependable.
Yeah.
If the person's dependable, they will
contact you when they can.
They will make sure they're there for you.
Yeah.
They make sure that you can depend on them when they can, See, depending on the situation, the circumstance, it boils down to the person you're in a relationship with.
Are they dependable? Not because of the long distance.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. So that's a myth. Being in a long distance relationship is like being single. Nowadays, that's crazy. No, it's
like
not.
Being single.
I tell you what, when I was in a long distance relationship with Beauty, every single person I knew that I was with her. And everyone used to call her my girlfriend because they knew that she was my girlfriend, regardless of the distance. So no, that's a myth. In my opinion, that's a myth, because you know that you're in a relationship with someone because you're in a relationship with someone.
So you are with them.
Having distance doesn't make it any different. Mm-hmm. So why would long distance make it different? Mm-hmm. So if someone stayed 10 miles from you or 20 miles from you, it doesn't change the fact that there's a distance there. Mm-hmm. So a long distance shouldn't change that fact.
Yeah.
Just because you don't see them as often doesn't change how important the relationship is, or the status of the relationship. So no, it's not like being single at all. You make it work.
Yeah.
You make it work.
You fall out of love easily in a long distance relationship or in a long distance journey.
In a long distance journey.
You fall out of love easily. You fall out of love if you want to fall out of love.
You give yourself opportunities to.
There's a lot that you can do during long distance relationship that you can't just fall out of love. Like I said earlier, it's an opportunity to miss the person and enjoy quality time when you do get those times, and you cherish those moments, the moments that you get together. And so I don't believe that long distance relationship makes you fall out of love easily. No. If you want to fall out of love easily, in a relationship where the person's even close to you, you fall out of love. So it's not because of long distance relationship that you fall out of love easily. So that is a myth.
Okay, so right, number 10, you can't trust your partner. I understand where that comes from, where that myth comes from, but from my point of view, if you can't trust your partner, then you have trust issues. Unless they are giving you red flags. Everyone knows what a red flag is. You feel it, you know it, you see the signs. If they're giving you signs that they can't be trusted, then long distance has nothing to do with that. They can't be trusted. Full stop. So break the relationship. You shouldn't ever be in a relationship where you feel like you don't trust the person, but long distance doesn't have anything to do with that. Long distance might make it easier for someone who's going to cheat anyway, as we discussed before, to cheat because you're not in their vicinity. So they think that they can maybe get away with it. But if that person was going to cheat, they were always going to cheat. So the long distance just makes it easier for that person to do what they were going to do anyway. So no, I wouldn't. You can trust your partner. If
you don't trust your partner when you're around, you won't trust them in long distance relationship. So it's not because of the long distance relationship that's why you won't trust your partner. No.
Yeah, you probably didn't trust them anyway.
Yeah.
You can't have dates. This is the final one, and it's quite a good one.
That's a myth.
That's a myth.
That's not true.
How many dates did we have over Skype? We were creative.
You become creative, and you search and you make the effort, and it's wonderful. So yes, you can have lots and lots of beautiful dates. There's a lot of ideas online for dates ideas, online dating. So no, that's a myth, and beautiful ones as well, because each person will make the effort.
Yep.
And it's just wonderful. It's just a memory and to cherish, and I think it's beautiful.
I've got so many memories of all the cool dates we have, like the amount of movies that we watched, really, and it was so awkward because we had to sync them up, and it creates moments that you wouldn't have normally. So we had the movie dates, and I remember I'd have to be like, no, don't press play now, and we were trying to sync up the sound so that when we were watching it, we were hearing each other's sound at the same time. So it created a lot of little moments like that were just really heartwarming, and I remember that. I fondly remember those dates that we had.
Yeah.
So no, it creates opportunities to be creative with the ideas that you've got. It's not just let's go to the movies, let's go out for a meal,
all you have is a phone or a laptop or a computer or an iPad or whatever, a tablet. So you make it work.
And I think that's the theme of all of these questions. I would say that all of these myths are about, essentially, you make it work. You put in the effort because the person means something to you.
I guess that's basically our questions.
That's it. So guys, we really hope that these have blessed you. If you're thinking about a long distance relationship, or you're in one currently and you're worried about certain things but you haven't had any red flags or anything like that, but you know certain things are worrying you, please don't let them worry you. If you trust the person, you trust the person. If you love them, you love them, and you will make it work. We're going to say goodbye to these lovely people now.
Yes, goodbye. I'm going to bed now.
Just goodbye. Right, guys, we love you loads. Thank you so much for supporting us, and please subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to us. We're just a new channel, we're growing, and it's amazing, and we really want you guys to interact with us. So if you have any questions about us, about our relationship, about things that maybe you think you want to know that we have struggled with or where we can help, let us know. This lovely lady is amazing. She's a fountain of knowledge. She's the most amazing person I've ever met, and she will give you guys good advice, I promise. Me, I don't know, I'm a bit no. I'll try and give good advice as well, but we love you loads. We hope you guys enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.